In 1932, Father Bugle, he was from Germany, and he came to St. Francis Mission. That's where my grandmother and my mother and them went to boarding school there. That's how old that place was. Anyway, so he was in linguistics. He specialized in linguistics, and he went to the old people, and that's how he got our dictionary. I should have brought my dictionary. I left it at home, but it's a Lakota dictionary that him and another person, but he wrote it, and he went to the old people, and that's how he got most of the words and the guttural sounds and the vowels and the alphabet. How we pronounce, how we, and then the guttural, the sounds, how we pronounce or like I just got to saying how this is written.
Americans are capable of achieving extraordinary things when they have the freedom and opportunity to do so. This is American Potential.
Hey everyone, welcome to the American Potential Podcast. I'm your host, David Fromm. Did you know that every 2 weeks, a language disappears somewhere in the world? It's not just words we're losing, it's stories and traditions along with it. That's why it's important to teach languages to the next generation, and today's guest understands the importance of doing just that. She's not only preserving her tribe's language, but the culture and history that go along with it. Growing up, she and others from her tribe had to attend a boarding school where speaking their native language was forbidden. But she held on to it, and now she's helping to make sure the next generation gets to learn the Lakota language by teaching it at Onward Learning in South Dakota. Now, if Onward Learning sounds familiar to you, it's because we had Mary Jo Fairhead on the podcast to share the story of why she started the school. So this is a unique episode for us because we get to share how schools like Onward Learning can offer language classes that are unique to their area. So with that, I want to welcome Rose Gordon to the podcast. Rose, welcome. How are you?
Oh, just fine.
Great. So Rose, since we're going to be talking about the Lakota language, is there a traditional greeting that you could start us off with in the Lakota language?
Sure. Okay. Medakiapi iuha yushki nape chuzape. I greet you with a open heart and a heart handshake.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Rose Brave Gordon Hiemecha Lakota Chajeki Pejuta Washteri Hemiechapi. Okay, I just said my name was Rose. My maiden name is Brave. Rose Brave Gordon, and my Lakota name is Pejuta Washteri. Yeah, means good medicine woman. I got that name through my grandfather was a holy man, and I used to help him pick medicine. He said I always chose the good medicine that he needed to help heal people. So I guess I earned that name, or I got that name.
Wow, I'm so interested to hear about all this. So maybe just to start out with, can you share a little history about your tribe with our listeners, and then also like maybe characterize it geographically where you all are?
Okay, we're called the Osati, Shankowi, Oti. That calls us seven council fires. There's 7 of us. And we are in South Dakota and North Dakota. And different reservations like that. If you Google it on the map. There's 7 of us. 7 council fires. 7 is really a number for us too.
Mm-hmm.
So we have we've got our 7 rights, sacred rights. There's 7 Lakota values. Anyway, that number is really significant to us.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're located in South Dakota mostly, and part of North Dakota. Standing Rock Reservation there's the South Dakota and North Dakota, the part of the reservation. So on both sides like that. So
the Lakota language was all an oral history originally, if my understanding is correct, until someone wrote it down. Who did that?
In 1932, Father Bugle, he was from Germany, and he came to St. Francis Mission. That's where my grandmother and my mother and them went to boarding school there. That's how old that place was. Anyway, so he was in linguistics. He specialized in linguistics, and he went to the old people, and that's how he got our dictionary. I should have brought my dictionary. I left it at home, but it's a Lakota dictionary that him and another person, but he wrote it, and he went to the old people, and that's how he got most of the words and the guttural sounds and the vowels and the alphabet. How we pronounce, how we and the guttural, the sounds, how we pronounce or like I just got to saying how this is written. Nitaku epi, yuha, yushki, nape, chuzape. That's really long, but it's really kind of short in English.
So now, is Lakota your first language?
Yeah, that was my first language as a child.
Wow.
So we'll go get into that. Yeah, my parents, they spoke, and I know they were. See, I come from a family of 9 children. I'm the baby. I'm the youngest.
Wow.
Yeah, there's only 2 of us left now. My oldest sister, she's 72, and then me, I'm 65. Anyway, so they experienced the boarding school, how they treated they were treated. So when I was going to go to, and I wanted to go to school, every child wants to, but my mom was like, oh no, it's going to happen to her. They're just going to really. So they was talk English to me to spare me from getting beaten like they did, their hands, put your hands on a table, and they would hit them with this ruler or a stick. And things like that. If you dare speak our language, because they try, we couldn't do it. We had to speak English. They want us to learn English. Anyway, so I would learn off and on. They would teach me English words and stuff like that. So I wouldn't probably try to get punished too much for speaking my language. So, but it was always around. Yeah, my brothers and sisters spoke all the time Lakota as we got older as adults. So. I understood it, and I could, to answer back, but not as good as they did. They were taught the old way by my grandparents and stuff like that too. So they really spoke really good, really good Lakota.
And was that somewhat unique to your family, or did other families that you grew up with do the same?
Yeah. Yeah, we all did. Yeah, there's very few of and then a lot of my classmates are dying out too. The ones that really did speak good too. We used to talk to each other on the playground in Lakota, and sneak talking, and from the nuns, so they won't hear us, so we won't get punished. But so once they die, they take it with them.
Yeah.
A lot of our elders that pass away too. I always say that once. They just take it with them. They try to, they have their teachings. We try to keep it. We have Lakota 1 and 2 language at our university in Mission, South Dakota, where I come from. I'm from the Rosebud Reservation. And this is Pine Ridge Reservation. I'm on here now. Anyway, and then we have our college. They have a college here too. It's called Oglala Lakota College. They teach Lakota there too. They have a Lakota Studies Department. So they could, teach there too. Then it's hard to get teachers, because I asked if they were having any kind of workshops and stuff that I could go to, this summer, because I was kind of bored. And here, the director there said, yeah, I told him I was help teaching Lakota here and everything. He said, oh, geez. Hey, would you want to teach here? So I said, no, I can't really teach my elementary kids, let alone college kids.
Yeah.
That was funny. So, they're really hard to come by too. Yeah, Lakota teachers in our language. So, yeah, I like to try my best so that at least they know, because it is dying out.
Yeah. Well, so going back to so you were forced to go to boarding school, right? And why?
Yeah, we had to. It's the law. If our parents didn't send us, they could go to jail.
Wow.
That was the law.
And it seems like that was a big. The real risk there was that you were being that you had a lot of your culture, and in this case, language, being kind of pushed out of you. And
yeah, that's what they wanted. I heard that saying by Richard Pratt. He's the one that came from Britain, I think, and started that to put us all to annihilate us, assimilate us. He said, kill the Indian and save the man. That's what his motto was. So that's what their motto was, to do to us. So we wouldn't have our culture no more. They just wanted to do away with us so they could just take the whole land.
Yeah.
That's what the whole deal was.
And it sounded like a pretty harsh boarding school. Maybe for that time it was normal. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you weren't allowed to speak the Lakota language.
Mm-hmm.
But you did say that you kind of did, like on the playground and others you tried. Like, how difficult was that to kind of put your language aside or have to hide it?
Yeah, it was hard. You just mostly you try your best to understand English really good, which I kind of picked up my parents. Mm-hmm. My dad spoke real good English. He was really bilingual, so I learned from him also. Yeah, so I was aware. So you're aware of it.
So your school though switched from being run by the church to being run by the tribe eventually.
Yeah.
Were you able to learn anything really new? Nice. Like, did that open up?
Well, that's when we started to have Lakota studies and Lakota language classes. It was really great. I was in 7th grade when we got to do that, and I was really happy when we turned over to the tribe. So it used to be St. Francis Mission. Now it's called St. Francis Indian School, and then Lakota, because we're Sincharoos, it's called Sincharu Oyateho Incorporated. That's the name of the school now in Lakota, but the English is St. Francis Indian School now. Yeah.
Well, that had to be a welcome change for sure.
Yeah, it is really nice. Yeah. We didn't start as much either, and we got to go home. They quit the boarding school. We didn't have to.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. We got to wear pants. Us girls had to wear dresses all the time. Wear those uniforms, those ugly uniforms, I call them. Yeah, so I was really good. I got to wear blue jeans, like that to school.
Yeah, that's quite a transformation to not only learning your history and your language, but also being able to spend time every day with your family. That's a pretty dramatic change for a community. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, when I first came here, we have those little bitty ones. They're like 5 years old here. I help teach, I teach them to Lakota and stuff, but I was telling the teacher, I said, just think, when I was their size, I was put in boarding school. And they said, oh my God, I can't even think of it.
I can't imagine. I have a 5-year-old who's turning 6 later this week. And I cannot imagine her being sent away to school.
It's sad. I just get lonesome all the time too and cry for my mom and dad.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you were able to be there when that switch was made and be able to get the benefits of it. So now you're kind of giving back in a way of, at Onward Learning. So how did you get connected with Onward Learning?
She was looking for somebody to help here with Lakota. And a friend of mine says, Rose is looking for a job part-time. And she knows Lakota, so she hooked me up here. So she wanted to interview me, and that was in January, she hired me. So I was like, I taught everything. See, I used to be a substitute teacher, American Horse School here over there in Allen. It's only like about 20 miles away. It's a elementary school. Well, not really, but it's from K to 8th. And I used to substitute there from everything English, reading, math, the science, whatever, whenever they needed me, I went in Lakota. And I did that all those years. I just substitute teaching. Anyways, I have that experience in teaching. So anyway, she wanted to have somebody to help do that. When this kid learn another language, or Lakota language, and a lot of them are Oglala Sioux, they're Lakota. They're enrolled, so.
Yeah, I actually didn't ask Mary Jo that when we talked originally about Onward Learning. Are all the students Lakota?
Not most of them, but some of them are. They're descendants.
Mm-hmm.
They're descendants. They got Lakota blood in them, Indian blood.
What a fabulous way to tie them back to their ancestry and their history. That's pretty darn meaningful. How does that make you feel to be someone who's lived through an amazing transition and transformation in your community to now have these little kids sitting there who are Lakota learning about, what you lived through and your history?
Actually really proud and humbling. I'm glad. They sit still too and listen. When we did our after school thing, so they presented to the parents. I taught them their numbers in Lakota, the animals in Lakota, and let's see, the shapes. Oh, and you remember doing that song when you were little? Head, shoulders, yeah, knees.
Yep.
That one, head and shoulders. That one. Okay, that's in Lakota. We have that in Lakota. So they learned that and they sing it. I winged it practically. I was like, oh my God. But that's the basics they need to know, is that to put, in sentences, to know the numbers and to know the animals and their colors. And all in our language.
Well, so what do the students think about learning the Lakota language?
Oh, they like it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They really look forward to it. And the older ones too. I teach the older ones the same things I teach the little ones, but the little ones catch on faster.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then the bigger ones, I'm at the 6th to 8th grade. Yeah.
Yeah, that's harder.
So
yeah, when you're little, you can pick up languages so easily. I always regret that I've not done more in that area with my kids. But
yeah,
they're sponges. And I would imagine that a lot of the kids, and maybe it's more so with the older kids, but I would imagine that there's a pride that comes from learning about their heritage and where they've come from. Do you see that manifest in them?
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, they're proud of where they come from, and they ask me questions, so I tell them and things like that. But this year I didn't get too much far in that. But this fall I'm going to do more history, more knowledge of our people and stuff like that. Where we come from, where we came from.
So what's it like for you? Like, what emotions do you feel knowing that you're part of passing the Lakota language on to the next generation and imparting the histories and customs and generally keeping the language alive?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, well, I guess if I could do whatever I can do, like I'm doing, that's, at least I'm trying to help preserve it a little bit. And they could go on their own. Their parents could help them too. There's a lot of things they could do to help preserve it. Because without language, you don't have culture.
Yeah.
Without culture, you don't have language. It's just, I don't know what you are.
Well, they're certainly intertwined, right? And I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they are.
A lot of countries, even Western countries, like in Europe, for instance, where it's a little more homogeneous, right? Like where you have America is such a melting pot to some degree, but they have language requirements, and because it is wrapped up that to understand the culture, you got to understand the language. I would think that's doubly so for a tribe like the Lakota.
Yeah.
Do you see any of your students as you look into the future, or maybe ones who are learning in college, like? How do you see them continuing to keep this language alive and even expanding?
How do I see? Well, I wish them luck. I hope they do it.
Yeah.
I never forget where they came from. Never forget who they are. And yeah, it's it's a full-time thing.
Yeah. Well, I guess as we kind of move towards the end here, so you really understanding your culture and the language that you grew up with, like, how does that influence you as a person? Like, how does that make you who you are?
Well, yeah, who I am is how, how I was raised to have respect, to be humble, and just take pride in yourself, what you do.
All right, Rose. So we're gonna wrap up here. I wanted to see if you would be willing, if there's some sort of like farewell or something related to that you could give us in the Lakota language.
Okay. Doksha ake wachi akinkte. That means I'll see you. I'll see you next time. There's never a goodbye in our language, or to say. You guys say bye bye bye. We don't say that. You would never say goodbye.
I love that.
We'll see you again.
I love that. Well, I'm coming to South Dakota sometime this year, and maybe I'll see you then.
Oh yeah, sure.
It'd be a lot of fun to come see you.
Here, the Black Hills, even the plains, looks like brown, but then there's places you can go that are just beautiful.
Yeah. Well, Rose, thanks so much for coming on and teaching about your tribe and language, and I hope everybody, hope it piques some interest for a lot of folks in the Lakota language and the Lakota culture. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Sure. Hey, folks, if you like this episode and would like to stay connected with the podcast, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, as well as following us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And always remember, liberty and freedom are easily taken for granted. Don't take it for granted. Go out there and defend freedom and liberty. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to American Potential. You may listen to more stories from Americans working every day to expand freedom and opportunity in their communities by visiting AmericanPotential.com.